your children.
All right, everybody listen up. Haley, you're not quitting. You're resigning. It sounds better.
No,
Alex, you have all of spring break to lock yourself in your room and study.
No.
And Luke, coffee bot is a non-starter. But I do like the idea of popcorn kernels in the pancake batter so they self-flip.
Stop talking. Step away from the children.
That was a scene from the breakout comedy Modern Family, now nearing the end of its 4th season. That's why we have Emmy Award-nominated writer and a past writer for the show, Carol Leifer. She joins us on the set now. Thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure, Simon.
It's a great show, and it sort of came out of nowhere in many ways. When you've written for the show and when you're thinking of ideas, and as you get into like you're in the 4th season, how do you keep it fresh? How do you keep it from becoming samey and old?
Well, the fresh quality of the show is really up to the showrunners, 2 guys named Steve Levitan and Chris Lloyd. But for my particular story, what was great about Modern Family is I started out as a fan, just loving the show, and I went in to pitch ideas because, as I learned from writing on Seinfeld, the ideas from real life really make the funniest ideas for episodes. When I wrote on Seinfeld, when I went in and said, Elaine thinks that the Korean manicurists are talking about her behind her back in Korean, Larry David shot up and said, that's an episode. And so when I went into the Modern Family office, I pitched an idea that was about how my partner and I have a son who's adopted from Guatemala, and that's a lot like the characters of Mitch and Cam, who have a daughter, Lily, who is adopted from another country. So I went and I pitched the idea about us writing a storybook to tell him his adoption story. So
Modern Family pushes the envelope in many ways with the things that it deals with. How do you know what's too far when you're coming in with ideas? Do you just go in the room and do you just let it all spew out? I mean, or do you have a self-censor, say, oh no, we can't do that because that would be wrong?
No, I think
what are the limits? Yeah.
I don't think there are ever any limits, and certainly the show creators know the limits to their show because it's their creation. But I think what's so interesting about comedy writing is that I went in to pitch an idea. It was about the storybook, creating a storybook for an adopted child. And what happened is my day spent there with the writing staff, it became more and more about my partner and I arguing over how to hyphenate our child's name. So I kind of left the lot going, honey, the pitch went a little deeper than I thought, But
so you're using examples from your family and your life.
Right.
When your friends and your family do they recognize that in the show, and then do they get mad?
No, I think that is the beauty of great stand-up comedy and great sitcom writing, when people go, oh, I can relate to that. I mean, it's part of a partnership that I'm doing now with the Clorox company. They created this thing called the Ictionary, which is kind of a wiki style dictionary by parents, for parents, of everyday messes and spills and stains. And what I love about it is the relatableness of it. People can go to a certain term, oh, that's happened to me, and now have a name for it.
Okay, and so it's keeping everything relevant. Now, very quickly, we've got about 10 seconds. Anything you won't touch when you write comedy?
You just always got to keep it funny and relatable. And, the only thing that I would ask your audience, because the audience out there is funny, is especially with my Clorox deal, to go to Ictionary.com because they can submit their own terms, and I'm going to look at those and see which are the funniest ones.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Carol Leifer.